So here we are outside of my screen porch towards the back of our house, and this has always been an area that I have tried to work on here and there, trying to create what I would love to eventually be a really pretty little cottage garden. This is in the very early spring of this year when I started filming this. I just want to show you what we kind of have to work with and what we started with. We've made such great improvements just in our first year of really trying to be more intentional about this area. As you can see, there was no mulch down at this time. And of course, we all know that you have to replace mulch just about, every year. But I did have some old weed barrier down. And like I said, since moving into this house, I have never given it my full effort in trying to really make it what I want to make it. But now this year, with the help of my in-laws, we have really transformed it, and I just absolutely cannot wait for future years when it just grows and evolves that much more. I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to what I have in my head, my dreams for it coming into fruition. And yes, this is a red bud tree, and I love this thing. She kind of like bows over and just kind of creates this cute little canopy. As a matter of fact, I've had a little tiny tea party in there. I believe I have a video that I'll try and link right here so that you can see that. It ended up being a really cute backdrop for that little tea party. But we unfortunately are gonna have to do some pruning on her, and so I may lose some of that beautiful canopy, but that's okay. I wanna keep the tree. And of course, I love the bees. This path that we created using some boards that we just happen to have, we kind of made it look slightly boardwalky. It actually leads out to our pool area. I'm not going to show you that in today's video. I'll save that for another time. We have made a lot of improvements out there, but not as much as I would like. It's just a work in progress, but it's really beautiful in the spring because there are so many little daffodils that come up along that path, and I would love to plant more daffodil bulbs to just really make a big, beautiful impact in the springtime. And I believe these bushes, they're called fringe flowers. I could be wrong. If you know, let me know down in the comment section. But they are just so beautiful when they are fully bloomed out. So this area is lining an old rock wall that has probably been here since the start of our home. We've got some work to do to fix some parts of it, but it is lined with the most beautiful irises. In the spring when the irises are in bloom, it's so gorgeous. I'm hoping that I've got some clips or at least pictures to add to show you in the after. But I decided this year to come out here and really do a good job of weeding it. I worked because it goes down the whole length of the wall, and then it actually, as you can see in the distance, the wall makes a 90-degree turn. And the irises are all along that portion of the wall too. It looked so beautiful this spring. So one improvement that you see in this video is that I finally finished off my little pea gravel path right there that leads to the driveway. And we are starting to plant some different things in the garden area. We planted a lot of hostas, all kinds of varieties of hostas. This is predominantly a shady area. There are bits and pieces of it that do get a lot of sun, but predominantly it's shade. So we searched out shade plants, and who doesn't love hostas? I love all of the different foliage colors that you can get, and coral bells. That was another one of my favorite. That little meandering pea gravel little path right here is what I was talking about. That's one of the things that I did do in previous years, and we have kept that in place. And I'm just showing you here, just like I said, this is just kind of like the start of what we had planted. I did have some different types of little grasses already here. There was some hydrangeas here. Like I said, over the years, I really tried little bits and pieces of things, but wow, having my in-laws on board to help has just made the biggest difference. I really just cannot thank them enough for all of the work and the help that they have given to me. I really appreciate them. This is a sum and substance hosta, and I have several of them. Probably one of my all-time favorite hostas. They get these big, huge, gigantic leaves on them, and they look so prehistoric. So this little area right here has really gone through a lot of changes as well that you will see very shortly. So we are finally adding some mulch in, and we went with black mulch. It is my favorite. I don't like how it starts to fade, but that's just kind of a part of it. But isn't it amazing what just adding mulch to an area, how much it improves the area? It makes the plants just pop, especially all that green that you're seeing. Just what a huge, huge difference that mulch makes. So the outline with the big rocks, we did change some of that. It used to go all the way over to where those steps are right there. The rocks that are lining this raised bed right here were there. That was in place. The ivy, of course, has been there. I am allowing the ivy to grow for right now. I know that ivy can create a big problem, but I really, really like the way it looks. I want it to kind of cover that whole entire little space right there. We transplanted that bush that you see in front of the chimney. I'm hoping that that thing takes off. It's really beautiful. I think it's one of those like bridal veil bushes. I could be wrong about that. But you're starting to see some of our other things that we planted, some of the other things that just kind of came up. Those black-eyed Susans were volunteer. A lot of my roses that I had planted in this area are doing pretty well. Of course, nothing is as big as it's going to be, right? It's not nearly as lush and big and full as I want it to be, but gardening teaches us so much about patience, doesn't it? This bird bath right here, I have to keep a solar, it obviously needs extremely cleaned right now in this video, and I have since cleaned it, but I keep that solar paneled fountain that I purchased from Amazon in there. Because, you know, South Carolina, our state bird is the mosquito, and mosquitoes love to lay eggs in still stagnant water, and so we cannot have that. We do not need any more state birds around this area. But my bees absolutely loved that water bath feature. We kept it filled up with fresh water the whole entire summer and are still doing it, and the bees are constantly out there. So it makes me really happy to know that they're getting some fresh water to drink. This area, we just planted so many hostas. Like I said, guys, probably the number one thing that we planted, we're constantly, me and my mother-in-law are constantly searching for different varieties of hostas, and I am obsessed with coral bells, and so I'm looking for lots of varieties of them. My little pedestal cement planter right here, the creeping Jenny was already there, and it just, that and the pink impatiens just did so well in that pot this year. That little cement hamster is an ode to a little hamster that we used to have named Winnie, and she was the sweetest, and when she passed away, I did purchase those that little cement hamster. But like I said, gardening it's just such a work in progress all the time, isn't it? Even since like filming this, we've kind of marked things that we're going to end up having to move next year because maybe it's getting a little too much sun in certain areas. And I just can't wait. I cannot wait to see what it looks like next year and to be able to show you guys. I'm always one that kind of wants instant gratification. And so I think planting a garden and having a garden is something that it teaches you patience. And so I don't know. I'm really, really enjoying it. I absolutely love being outside. I love working in this space. Sometimes I get frustrated because it's not looking like I want it to look, but it's just such a beautiful process. It truly is. So this area is where I was talking about a lot of changes. You can see we put in that cute little stone patio area, and I cannot wait to host little tea parties. I've got a lot of ideas for that little space over there. So this hydrangea is in plant hospital right now. I had her planted. She wasn't doing so well, so I'm trying to save her. But this little table I do keep out here. I have it just kind of like just some cute little random pots out there, the mums, and there's geraniums. There's another little concrete hamster that I have. It's just a fun little cute little area to kind of decorate. Eventually it will probably change, but that is what it looks like right now. I want to get rid of that boxwood bush right there. It just does not match, doesn't go. So that's something that I'll probably be working on next year. I'm also going to have to search out and figure out a way to water things more effectively and more efficiently. I think I'm going to try and get my friend Lisa. She has drip irrigation like all over the place in her yard, and I told her that I want to do that. I want to just make watering a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient, because that was a bit of a difficulty. I had some soaker hoses in place, and we used some sprinklers, but it was just, I tell you, it was like a full-time job, to be honest with you, watering everything this year. It was pretty crazy, especially because we had such an unbelievably hot summer. We did have a week or two of some really nice, like fall type of weather here a couple weeks ago. It was such a tease, it truly was, but other than those couple weeks, it has just been so hot, you guys, and it was so dry. So my water bill this past month was not very pretty. Let's just say that. This is another area where I'm calling it plant hospital. I had some heucheras that weren't doing so well. I think some beetles got to them, so I dug them up and put them in pots, hoping to save them. So here we are walking around to the other side, kind of like the back side of the area that we were just looking at. This is the area that comes off of the side of the wraparound porch. We did put in another pea gravel path that leads up to the stairs that go into the porch, and I am so happy that we did that. Just so, like I said, so thankful for my in-laws. My father-in-law has just done so much work to help me. It is just amazing. I feel very blessed. We dug out a lot of the old bushes that were as a part of the landscaping, and we have just added some bits and pieces here around the sides. We've got some hostas yet again. I put my cute little bike that I painted yellow. I think she's been yellow for a while. She's got some cute little baskets on the front and the back, and I've got them planted with some pink impatiens and some more creeping Jenny. Just so happy with the way that this is all turning out. And like I said, it's just a work in progress. I can't wait until I see what we make of it next year. And here's just a small tour of what the side of the wraparound porch looks like right now. just kind of very spring-like. Although everybody is amping up for fall, I wanted to make sure that I got this video out to you guys so that hopefully you'll come back and see it next year and see all the changes. But I do like the way that I decorated my basket wall arch. If you didn't watch the video of when I originally created that, I will try to link that in an iCard or down in the description box of the video. You'll have to check that out. That is a fun piece to seasonally decorate. I've had it now, I think I had it last fall into winter, and then of course this spring, and just a lot of fun out here. We use this space quite a bit, especially when the weather cooperates. So here we are at the front of the house now. We decided to leave the two really big hollies on both ends of the front of the porch, just because we feel like they've been there for so long. It would be kind of a shame to completely get rid of them. We do need to probably do some more trimming up on them, but we dug out all of the old kind of scattered landscaping bushes that were in the front, and we replaced all of that with some Incredibles, which are hydrangeas that get these massive basketball size white cluster of blooms on them. So I'll be excited to see how that does next year. I moved my two pots with my mammoth elephant ears to the front here, although since making this video I have since moved them again. We are still doing construction on our porch, for those that are wondering why it's not completely decorated yet. This has been such a long process, you guys, and we are still kind of in the middle of it because we live life and we do everything ourselves, and so we are extremely slow, you guys, and so it is still not 100% complete, although we have made a lot of improvements and have been really working. It's still not ready, but I cannot wait because I've got some big plans. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. This is the front yard. We've got some really big plans to put some more paths in and possibly a big fountain. Super excited about that. Cannot wait. Just so beautiful. I'm so excited from where it came to where it is now. We did plant pink hydrangeas next to those old hollies, and we mulched, of course, everything. My father-in-law edged everything, and we even did some other landscaping on this side of the house, and it's just coming along so grandly. Thank you guys so much for stopping by My Feathered Nest and hanging out with me for a little bit today. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of before and after tour of my first year of really being serious and intentional about our flower garden. I cannot wait until I get to show you guys more of it next year. And I would love for you to stick around and become a part of our YouTube family here by hitting that subscribe button and making sure that you hit the bell to be notified of all of my upcoming videos. I hope you guys have an absolutely blessed day. Bye-bye.